adults and 3 sub-adults so far. The sub-adults all look like quite a similar age. I'm just not sure. It's actually 3 and 3. So it's 3 adults, 3 sub-adults. And I don't recognize any of them at first glance. I've just got my binoculars out now, trying to check out their ears for any distinctive notches or holes, or their bodies for any scars. But hard to see. And it apparently sounds like that this female here could be the mother from the Philemon's cutline den, so the other den that we were not at this morning. And that is possible. I've seen a few little notches in her ears, but I haven't been to that den yet. And in this wet conditions, the hyenas are looking quite kind of dark. So it looks slightly different to normal. I'm just going to reposition the vehicle ever so slightly. And they're evidently sniffing around and chewing on some bones. It doesn't look to be like a fresh kill. But the one individual has just picked up a bone and moved off, the one furthest right in the screen. It's a large bone. It doesn't appear fresh to me. But there does seem to be a reddish tinge on her coat around her neck. So maybe they did get lucky and catch something. But to me, that bone looks to be quite old. Maybe I'm wrong. What has happened with this clan of hyenas? There's a lot more bones through there that I'm now seeing. Again, none of which look very fresh. The bellies look quite full-bellied though, so they have had a meal, some of these hyena. Well, thanks very much to Alyssa, who has confirmed that the one hyena, I think with a tear in her left ear, is the mother of 2 cubs at the Philemon's cutline den. And the individual now that we're looking at is the mother of 1, and she's got a big scar down her left flank, I'm told. I haven't seen it yet this morning, but I think it is this one that Fiam's got in shot now. Now, interestingly, like I said, there's 6 hyenas in this area. There were apparently there was at least 1 not too far from here. I'm not sure why it wasn't involved in the immediate ongoings here. They've all got bones, it looks like. So maybe there was a kill, Major, and who knows, maybe this clan actually made the kill that they're now finishing off, but the bellies don't seem full enough. Their faces seem bloodied. I can't work it out. Maybe there was a fight between hyena, or maybe they did get the scraps of a small kill and are now just chewing on bones that were in the general area. But I think it's definitely worth hanging around here. They keep looking in the same direction as to where this other hyena was. Or at least the adults are. The youngsters are too busy chewing on the bones, as you can see. But 1 or 2 of the adults keep lifting up their heads and looking to the north. And you can see now it's happening again. Sadly, the one adult's head's a bit blocked by that bent acacia tree. But certainly keeping tabs on kind of northern areas. And it's just the one mother who's been the most focused, the one that we're looking at now. She's the most full-bellied out of all of these hyena. And maybe another thing to think about is that the moist conditions that we've been experiencing over the last 12 hours has maybe made these bones a bit more of an appetizing meal. Slightly softer. Maybe the moisture is bringing out a bit more of the flavor. think I've heard a bit of audio from the adults on the right there, VM. Let's see if she doesn't open up and give us a proper song. Please call. Please call for us. It's one of my... Oh, and they often bend their heads down like that when they call, but she was just doing it to pick up the bone. She got me so excited. They hold their heads facing down to the ground and onto this very strange swaying, almost, as they let out their... And I was hoping she was going to do it there. It's an incredibly wonderful noise, and to hear it from up close is very special. It's something that I haven't been able to pull off just yet with you guys. A good close hyena vocalization. We've been lucky with leopard and lion, but not yet with the hyenas. I love the way the youngsters are so clean and fluffy and more innocent looking than their parents, who have definitely got a bit more of a sinister or scary appeal when they become older. But they aren't nearly as horrible as they have been portrayed in many different films and many different theories about these animals, which has sadly caused them to be subconsciously disliked by most people on the planet, until you've seen young sabadults like this or the tiny cute cubs. People often find it hard to find a space for hyena in their heart, but they are incredibly important animals. Just not the best looking, I guess, when they get older and a bit more scary. Well, it looks like this hyena cub could be licking off some of the blood on this adult's neck. But again, I just can't be sure as to what's gone down here. These bones are old. I'm not sure if any of you guys think otherwise, but looking through my binoculars, this doesn't look like a fresh kill to me. I think what could have happened is, like I said, they may have had a snack on something fresh, but we're just in this area where the moistened bones have given them something literally just to chew on. But maybe I'm wrong, and it'd be great to hear what you guys think. I mean, this is what hyena do very, very well. They are the professionals at cleaning up carcasses and making sure nothing goes to waste. And the bones from this carcass are far too large to have been a leopard kill. Mr. Cropper mentioned that there's a chance that that could be the case. Not likely. They're looking at a helicopter flying past, which you can probably hear. Must be wondering, what on earth is that? So, Chris Rogue, unfortunately, I do not think they would have stolen this specific kill from a leopard. But yes, they certainly could have stolen a smaller kill from a leopard, got all worked up, got the taste of meat in their mouth, and then just started chewing on these bones, which I'm almost 99% sure are the remains of a lion kill. And the fact that there's no sign of any lions here makes it unlikely that lions made a kill here last night, have moved off, and now the hyenas are feeding on it. Oh. They all seem to be now moving off, at least one of them just started running off to the west. I wonder what's heard. I wonder what's going on there. Let's go, because now the rest are following. It's quite thick here, so I want to make sure we don't miss anything. As I off-road, I know which trees we can drive over and which we can't, which will handle the vehicle. So, don't worry. I just sometimes don't know which route is the best, which was an example of what just happened there. And there again. And now the hyenas are leaving us behind. So we will go another route. this mess, we're going to send you across to Steph so that you don't spill your coffees everywhere. And we'll let you know as soon as we're back with these hyenas. They are moving off there. I've still got a view of one or two of them. Although, yeah, we'll see you later. Adult hyena. They seem quite worked up about something, and I don't know what has caught their attention, but they are making their way towards where I'm told another hyena was. We see some action unfolding up in the road ahead of us. It's going to try and get us quickly. A few hyena all sniffing about. Just going to stop here to give you a quick glimpse of them running up. So this is the female that I think we saw earlier at the den. She's flawless. Other than a few tiny scratches on her bottom, her ears are in perfect condition. And she, interestingly, doesn't look very involved in whatever's going on here. The other three are all getting quite worked up, holding their tails up. There's some vocalizations happening now. Come on. Quickly, guys. We want to see what your friends are up to. Please, hurry up. Hurry up. I can hear some noises up ahead, and I'm so desperate to get you there. There they go. They're having a massive fight. Massive fight's happening here. This is going to be very hard to watch, but we are going to stay here. So if you cannot keep watching, you're going to just simply have to turn off the TV. This is very, very serious. And hyenas do fight fiercely amongst different clans, and sometimes even within their own clan. And it's often the females that will compete most ferociously for the hierarchy of queen. And it looks like right now one individual hyena is in serious trouble. Its one ear is just about being ripped off. And like I said, this isn't easy position the vehicle ever so slightly. Now, I can see... Oh, sorry everyone, I know this is incredibly difficult. Just trying to gather myself here. This poor hyena is in such a terrible state. It was calling out there, and I know we were hoping to show you hyena audio, but not in such a desperate affair like this. With the one calling out, hoping that possibly the rest of its clan will come out and rescue it. Its back left foot is severely wounded, and a lot of you may be wondering why it's not running off, and I think it's because it is in such bad shape that it simply cannot move. There's 3 young sub-adults have all followed into this sighting, and there are now 4 adults. So total of... Oh, and another one's just arrived. This one has just arrived fresh onto the scene. I'm not sure which one it is. Oh, it's such tricky business. We don't know what's going on here with all these hyena. So now it's 5 adults, 3 sub-adults, and 1 very, very badly wounded hyena, I'm guessing from a different clan. I just want to try and reposition the vehicle to give you a better view. It's hard to show you all the hyena from where we are here. And these hyenas certainly, very certainly knew of... Oh, there's a bit of action unfolding there. Hyena chasing off that one that's just arrived, or maybe they're just greeting one another and being a little bit cautious. Well, we're able to tell that there's something going on here, and every hyena that approaches is going to be quite cautious of what's going on. But it looks to me like this individual could be from the same clan as the one that has been delivering a beating to the one hyena that's looking in terrible shape. But this individual certainly has... It's going straight towards this other hyena. Probably just to work out what's going on. Oh, I wonder if they're not from the same clan. No. Adrenaline Rush has just brought up a good point. Could it be females fighting over hierarchy? And it certainly could. It could be one queen trying to overthrow another. But to me, I think this is an inter-clan dispute. And I think there's one hyena that got caught trespassing and is now bearing the brunt of being caught. Now, again, I could be wrong. There are so many variables as to what could be going on here. And I simply don't know what the answer is. So keep sending through your thoughts and opinions. Thank you very much for that Adrenaline Rush, for sending through your thoughts. And saying hello to Taxon, who you may have seen his vehicle in the sighting as well. So they've come in, issued some discipline to the one hyena who, if they wanted to, they could easily kill. I mean, that hyena doesn't stand a chance on its own. It can't even move. And it was left there all alone with the opportunity to limp off after having already been attacked. I'm certain that that hyena couldn't have been ripped off that quickly. The hyena's been sustained attacks throughout the evening, possibly, and the clan that we've been seeing chewing on the bones, coming and going. That a pack of wild dogs were showing a hyena a bad time the other day. Little did I know. After a brutal attack we got to see just a few moments ago. And I've never in all of my career in the bush and all of the hours spent out here, I've never ever seen anything quite like that. I've never seen hyena attacking one another to that degree. I've never seen a hyena in such a desperate condition as the one with that wounded ear. And let's hope that it doesn't receive another beating now. We are going to stop and show you the state of this hyena now. So again, if you are a sensitive viewer, you may want to turn your head for this. This hyena is certainly going to lose its left ear. Imagine the pain it's in. Like I said earlier, it's also got terrible, terrible wounds on its back left foot. And I'm guessing that a lot of that back pad and toes have been ripped off. Hello to Chimera, and I sadly do not know the answer to your questions. Will they kill it or will they let it die? If they wanted to kill this hyena, it would be very easy. For the 5 adults that are here, let alone these 3 sub-adults that are all sniffing around it now, but the 5 adults plus these 3 sub-adults would be no match for this one hyena. And that's why it's just sitting here, hoping that they do not actually stick through with their attack and their assault, but we don't understand why. And that's important to remember that so anyway, like I said, I'm not too sure why this hyena has caught itself on the wrong side of the fence, but what we must remember, and even though this is hard to watch, it's animals are very tough, and it could very, very well recover from these injuries. So it's not dire straits, even though it appears that way now for this hyena. I have seen many hyena in my career running around with only one ear, and once even one with no ears. So they can recover from these injuries, and let's hope that this one does. But also, we don't know if this hyena was being a criminal, maybe trying to attack the hyena cub from the den where we've just been. We couldn't solve that puzzle as to why that cub wasn't coming out of its den. And maybe this was the reason why. Very, very hard to say, though. But this individual may have perpetrated some kind of a crime to receive this punishment. Maybe not. Maybe it was just unlucky in the wrong place at the wrong time. Let's see if it tries to move here. Yeah, it looks like it's going to. Oh, no. Yeah, okay, it's back. Its back foot has been completely broken. So I'll take back what I've just said. This hyena is in dire straits. And without the ability to run and move effectively, the key strength of hyenas being able to move huge distances, it's going to have a very, very rocky road to recovery. It looks like its back foot has been absolutely shattered, and as it tried to stand down onto it, you saw it give way completely there. More hyenas coming in here. Hello to Laura. Laura's just mentioned that she didn't know that hyena fought one another. Laura, we very seldomly ever see fights happening out here in nature, but all of the animals will compete with one another, just as we as humans will compete with one another. Lions will fight lions, leopards will fight leopards, and hyena will fight hyena. Now, what's interesting, watching this individual walk past, look closely, you'll see it too has even sustained some injuries. So it wasn't a one-sided battle, and maybe, just maybe, that this is where a territorial warfare or war took place between many hyena from two clans. And maybe the Juma clan was the successful clan to win, but one soldier from the neighboring clan got left behind. Look at those wounds. I mean, that's a two-sided fight, that, and I think we are sitting in the middle of a battle zone from last night, and sadly, the losing team has probably lost and left behind one of their clan members, which is the individual that we can see very, very wounded here. And again, we don't know the exact whereabouts of where the territories begin and end. But I've always had a feeling that the area that we're in now has been kind of one of those boundaries between our clan and the neighboring clan that will operate in the Buffelshoek and Manyeleti Reserve, which is to the north of us. Reposition the vehicle quickly again so we can show you a better view of what's going on all around us here. Not easy stuff, and like I said, I know a lot of you may not be enjoying this, but it is really interesting, and I'm not enjoying it either. My heart is obviously feeling huge desperation and sorrow for this wounded individual, but it's our job simply to spectate out here and try and understand these animals a bit better. And I'm certainly not planning on going anywhere right now. I did mention earlier that I've never ever seen anything like this between hyena. I've seen wild dog fighting with hyena several times. Lions chasing hyena, hyena chasing leopard, but to see interaction between hyena like this is very, very unique. And even though it is hard to watch, we are all very, very privileged to be experiencing and witnessing this, because again, we are very seldom out to experience these rare phenomenons, even the gory ones that are quite sad and hard to watch, can provide us with very important information regarding the species. But yeah, I'm fairly confident what happened here was a territorial warfare last night between two different clans, one of which sadly lost, and the clan that lost appears to have left behind one individual here. Jessica, I agree with you completely. I take back my comments earlier saying that I don't think that this hyena was in dire straits. I didn't realize how bad its foot was wounded. But as all of you saw there, it's going to battle to move. Hello to Gubawala. And do I think any of its clan members could be nearby? Even if they are, Gubawala, they would have heard the calls, that desperation howl that we all saw. And that desperation howl did not get answered. And if its clan members are close enough to hear and simply didn't respond, I don't know, maybe they are too far away to hear. But the bottom line is that if all of them were here last night and lost the battle, it's unlikely that they're all going to come racing back to try and rescue this one after receiving a beating last night. So it's not looking promising. How far the other clan could be away, I'm not too sure. We sadly cannot traverse further north here, and therefore we've only got very limited information on the one clan that we do get to see. I've never once in the year that I've been here seen hyena interacting that could have been from different clans. Morning to Barbara, and thanks for the question you've just sent through. It's a good one. Sadly, the answer may not be what you're wanting to hear, though. Barbara suggested that if this hyena could somehow scramble back and limp back to its clan's den site, would there be a chance that they would bring it meat and help nurture it back to recovery? Highly, highly unlikely, Barbara. Hyena are not well known for carrying meat back to dens for cubs, let alone for adults, so that doesn't happen very often. And the competition between adults and the tough nature of being out here often suggests that older or weakened animals will rather be left to die than to slow down the clan or the pride. And it would make more sense to invest food and energy into young hyena members or young clan members that are going to, in all likelihood, be able to contribute to the clan in the future, as opposed to taking a gamble and trying to nurture back a very wounded and sick older hyena. So that's my guess. I could be wrong, but I'm fairly certain that it would get very little attention or help in terms of food and care and support if it did make it back to the den. Even with lions, which are, of course, a different animal to the hyena, but they will not look after other lions that are wounded. They'll simply carry on with the pride's best interests, not the individuals. Another good question has come through from Andre in Port Orange. And Andre is interested to know the likelihood of this hyena being eaten if it does get killed by the other hyena. And 50-50, sometimes predators will feed on predators that they've killed for competition, and other times they will not. So it is an absolute lottery with regards to that question, but a good one. And a lot of textbooks will suggest that predators will actually not feed on other predators that they have killed, because they are not doing it for food, they are doing it to eliminate competition. But that certainly does happen. I have seen leopard feeding on leopard that they've killed, lion feeding on other lion. So strange things do happen. What I'm thinking of doing is just creeping a little bit up ahead and having a look at what the rest of the clan is doing. Attacks, and then I'm just going to check what the rest are up to. Straight up ahead there, Veer, on the left of the road. And this could very well be the successful clan calling out their success and their victory, staking claim and reaffirming that this is their land. That could have been the audio we're just hearing now. We just got a question through from Joel in New York asking if the hyena don't feed on the hyena that they could potentially kill, what would? Flies, maggots, beetles, a whole host of decomposers, possibly birds of prey, batalures, vultures will come in. So a wide host of different animals will feed on it. I'm guessing birds of prey are likely, but there's no guaranteed set formula as to what will feed on any given carcass first. If it's out in the open, then birds will see it. If it's under a thick where birds cannot see it, then flies will probably be the main decomposer, or at least the maggots that hatch from the eggs that they lay there. Because in a bit of a tricky area here, so apologies for that. I'm just going to try and loop ahead of these hyena now, but it does appear that they are marching away from the battle zone, and I think that's as much violence that my brain can handle for one day. State being absolutely bullied, but it is nature, and we don't understand the complexities as to why exactly this battle went down. Maybe that was a villain that we saw, and it can be easy to feel sorry, I guess, for a villain once you see him all beaten up and bullied, but you don't know what that hyena may have done, he or she may have done to receive that beating. Wait here and watch the victorious hyena stroll past us. First, I think it's the first one. I'm not too sure how many have moved off already, but there are certainly some coming straight towards us. Hello, Rhonda in Georgia. Good question. How far away are we from the den site that these individuals are currently using? And as far as I'm aware, Rhonda, we're about a mile away as the crow flies. So that would be my guess as to the direction to the den. It's in the kind of central parts of Djuma, and we are now on the kind of central part but northern boundary. So we center but northern boundary of Djuma as opposed to slap bang in the center. Where are the other hyena moving? I did see a glimpse of one earlier. But I guess that means that they are kind of heading back in that general direction. So if they continue at this speed, they'll probably be back at that den in about half an hour or so. And I feel like one or two adults may have already started moving in that direction. To Gilly and Milwaukee as well as Grubawala, both interested in the prospects of this wounded hyena being euthanized because its outlook is looking very, very bleak. And it certainly won't have anything to do with us in terms of the decision making, thankfully, because it is a tricky decision to make. How far we as humans decide to interfere or not in animals' best interests is tricky. Awesome.
Have these difficulties from time to time, especially on a cloudy day like this. Myself and Andrew are doing a slow patrol of the boundary. We're on Cheetah Cut Line at the moment. And I have heard some reports coming through the Game Drive channel that there are wild dogs pretty close to our boundary as well. So although they're sleeping at the moment, I'm hoping that with the cold weather they get going and we get to see them. So we're going to be slowly making our way down this road, seeing what we can see. As to what happened to those elephant that we were busy tracking, to be honest, I don't actually know. It looks like that their tracks went north from where we last saw them into that very thickly wooded block around Vuyatela Camp, which is difficult for us to access in a vehicle. A lot easier to access on foot, but quite difficult in a vehicle. And I'm hoping that they come out either on Buffels or Cutline or come down to Gari Pan to come and have a drink at Pete's Pond. So for those of you with access to the Gari Dam Cam or the Vuyatela Dam Cam, keep your eye open. You might see an elephant herd popping out there at some point. Let's have a look and see